Hey there, Skell here. This video is going to be a little bit different to my normal ones. A few weeks ago, actually months ago, I had a bit of a sort out and I found these old comic books. They are Teknophage by Neil Gaiman. Back then, in 1995, I had a paper round at a local newsagent's, and with the weekly wages I had, I bought sweets and candy and basically a load of junk. But in August of 1995, I saw this comic book, and a cover like that obviously drew my attention. And so yeah, I bought it. I was instantly hooked, and then I was desperate for the next issue, and obviously monthly after that I bought every single issue. So I figured it was time I had a bit of a reread of them, because I've not read them in nearly 25 years. Damn, I'm old. And I thought I'd talk about them. Hope you enjoy my thoughts afterwards. How do I explain the premise of this book? Basically, a con man, Rob, acquires a farm, and he's then basically teleported to another dimension, which is basically a bit like the Immortal Engines. I think that's the film. And yeah, it's basically run by a big giant T-Rex. It's so bizarre, but like I say, back in 1995, this totally blew my mind, and it was like I'd never seen anything like it before in my life. And this first issue was actually quite a good read again. But the strange thing is that as I was reading it, I could remember reading it for the first time. So yeah, it's such a great concept. And yeah, on to next issue. The head honcho T-Rex dude is called Henry Veitch. He basically rules with a iron hand. He harvests souls and puts them into these like Cybermen, steampunk like robots, and he basically marauds around this planet in this like moving city, like say like in Immortal Engines. And yeah, it's very like kind of class system. So obviously the people on the ground are the poor, and then there's people on the city who are like kind of like varying levels of class, with Mr. Veitch at the top. Oh my god, Star Trek phone cards. I always wanted them as a kid. Obviously I wasn't allowed them. So yeah, issue 2, the artwork is great and obviously quite visceral for a little kid back then to read, hence why I probably loved it so much. On to issue 3. I think one of the things I loved about this story was Rob, the protagonist, if you call him that, is actually kind of like a slime ball. He's just very self-serving, and back then when I was originally reading this comic, I was obviously into like the whole like pure hero, the guy who would just do anything to save anyone, but Rob was kind of cool like contrast to that you know, he would literally sell anybody out to get ahead because he's a con man and he's a complete douche. And again, the artwork in this run was just mind-blowing to me back then. Obviously very graphic. And yeah, on to issue 4. As mentioned, I love the artwork in this series, but I also love like the technology in it. It's kind of like this hybrid of like steampunk Victorianism and futuristic, and it's just weird and bizarre and wonderful and creepy and gory, and there's just like so much going on. And as a kid, it just like I said, it blew me away, and reading it now, it's crazy. But anyway, on to issue 5. Weird and wonderful, like I say. It's kind of steampunk, but kind of futuristic. And this did seed some interest in steampunk to me. I mean, it's got some kind of weird sentient hand. But this issue is kind of cool because it's got some kind of like jigsaw style trials to be like a job position, and also Mr. Veitch is having issues with his last meal. He spent half the issue talking to the guy he just ate, and yeah, it's just so bizarre and, like I say, weird and wonderful. Yeah, what else can I say? Nothing much. I guess on to issue 6. Finally, in closing, I think what I loved most about this was when I originally read it, I didn't really fully understand what was going on. I mean, I just like kind of, yes, sure, I read the words and loved the artwork, but the story and plot, it was probably a bit beyond me back then. Reading it now, holy frick, it's so dark and twisted and, slight spoilers, I guess. It's not a happy ending. It's far from a happy ending. So yeah, if you ever get a chance to track this down, I don't know if it's in graphic novel form or just in like trade paperback still. Seriously, check out Teknophage. It's phenomenal. And with that, until next time, I've been Skell. Be safe, be kind, Skell out.